The goal is to create literally a digital god, and it's going to be controlled by not us, not the collective human race. It's going to be controlled by a select few group of people, and that's weird. Like, and we're just trusting them.
Well, that's why you're not getting a vote on immigration levels. Or you're not going to get a vote on, like, yeah. I think the reality is that eventually they're going to go, do you want safe streets? Do you want food? Do you want a little bit of money? You got to do X, Y, and Z. You got to believe X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And I mean, that seems to be coming.
I don't know what this is, but I'm from New England. And in the northern part where I'm from, we're in this weird, rare, severe weather with tornado warnings till Thursday.
A close eye on New England today. Take a look at the map. This says everything. We do expect severe weather for this part of the country this time of year, but to get to a level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk here, that's something to pay attention to.
And another weird thing is I just got off a 12-hour shift, and this is how the temperature went. It reached its hottest at 6 p.m. And I just had to pull over and make this video because look at the sun. I've never seen anything like it. Have you? Let me know in the comments, and stay safe.
Earth about to be recycled. Your only chance to evacuate is to leave with us.
He convinced 39 devoted followers that by shedding their physical bodies, what they called their containers, they would ascend to a next level of existence. The video briefly transitions to show the smiling faces of his followers, seemingly happy and unaware of the grim fate that awaited them. The final shots reveal the horrifying aftermath. Discovered by police in the mansion, 39 bodies arranged neatly on bunk beds, covered in purple shrouds. They were all wearing matching black pants and brand new Nike sneakers. Having ingested a lethal mixture of phenobarbital and vodka, they believed they were boarding a ship trailing the Hale-Bopp comet, making this one of the most disturbing examples of cult manipulation in history.
The cell phone came out during the Vietnam War. I mean, we didn't get that until like 1992, I think it was. We called it the bowling pin. But it was available a long time before then. And so I think they have the ability to draw things out extensively to just give us small amounts of advanced technology so that we as a civilization, the general population, advances much slower than they advance, giving them the ability to always be 10 steps ahead of us technologically. If they create technology that they dole out to us almost instantly or not too far behind, then we can always catch up to them. And if we catch up to them, then we become a threat. We cannot become a threat by any means necessary, so they keep us with technologies that are far, far behind what they have. I mean, they still have Elon Musk launching, chemical rockets.
What's your point?
I think that's really old technology, super ancient technology.
So you think even Elon Musk is old school?
No, he's done a great job with his launching and landing the same rockets. You're using controlled explosions in the 21st century. I think there's a lot better technology out there.
You think he's aware of that?
He's probably aware of it, but he probably
For some reason, there are random staircases to nowhere all over the national parks. I don't know if this has something to do with the many, many cases of people missing in the national parks, but it's freaky, baby. And it's not like these stairs are connected to any abandoned buildings. They're just on their own. What could this be? This really freaks me out. Shabba-doo!
Okay, so this
Poes gaat er ook al vandoor.
is fucking scary.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So this person that goes by the name of Sabia L, who lives in the Netherlands, was plagued by something that most of us would probably fucking soil from.
Licht elke keer. Oh. Dat was een stem. Dat was een stem. Oh, Jezus.
And the activity was actually so bad in this place that she was able to save up enough money to finally move. Well, unfortunately, just after 3 months of a little R&R, Sabia wasn't able to enjoy herself any longer, because whatever it was that was at her previous place ended up making itself right at home again.
Oh, ik durf niet. Verdorie. Helemaal klaar mee.
In the words of the legend himself, but with a twist, did you fucking see it? After she turns from the hallway, the light begins rapidly swinging. She turns back around and now the hallway light seems to have gone out, and look at what the fuck is standing there to greet her.
Oh. Oh. Ik durf echt niet. Donder op, ik ga er niet naartoe.
And then it just takes off running up the stairs? Dude, what the fuck? And that's the story of Sabia in a nutshell. She hasn't posted anything in a long time. But seriously, could you imagine living with something like that? Nah, I don't fucking think so.
By the way, divination is python in the Greek. What do pythons do? Like boa constrictors, they wrap around and constrict and squeeze. So that's what, so while divination comes off as this power and ability to know the times,
yes,
and secrets, really your spirit is being constricted.
Ooh.
But that's the occult. We can have the occult conversation and witchcraft conversation another time. But the Bible says Paul was greatly annoyed, and he turned around and he said, "Come out in the name of..."
They did it again. They scanned the most impossible temple in the world to prove that big archaeology knows absolutely nothing, uncovering unexplainable tool marks in some of the hardest natural rock known to man that we can't even achieve with our modern tools today. If you thought the pyramids were impressive, this is about to run circles around you. This is Kailasa Temple in India, and it wasn't even built. It was carved out of the side of a mountain. This entire temple is essentially one solid piece of rock that they worked around to create a functional monolithic complex with the most detail in anything you've ever seen, along with unique acoustic properties where the slightest hum reverberates into a body vibrating chant. Thought to be intended for sound healing purposes, sorta like an ancient hospital, or possibly even the construction method used to build this, as well as functioning drainage and carefully engineered ventilation systems, which were all carefully thought out as part of the original design, not something they just added on after. Mathematically and artistically perfect pillars that stand over 100 feet tall that they would have had to dig around to create, all in an area as big as a football field, going 100 feet straight down at its deepest point. Mind you, they did this all as a single piece of rock carved into a mountain.
mountain, meaning there was no room for error. Just like sculpting a statue out of marble, if they messed up, they'd have to start all over again, removing an estimated total 400,000 tons of rock, more than the entire weight of the Empire State Building, which no one can explain because all of that rock just disappeared. We have no idea where they put it, and there are no traces of it anywhere. 400,000 tons is a lot of rock to just go missing. This is just one of many among India's mysterious Ellora caves. Over 30 temples, all of which were carved into the side of the mountain. What makes Kailasa different from the rest was that it was built from the top down, defying all rules of conventional architecture. Simply put, the way this temple was built is by every sense of the word unexplainable. Historians will tell you it was built sometime around 756 to 773 AD, but as always, that's just an estimate. In fact, it's a terrible estimate, even less accurate than the timeline of the pyramids, as the main source of dating for this temple were land grants. Exactly 2 land grants, inscribed into copper plates that were found hundreds of miles away. These copper plates acted as official documents of legal ownership deeds back in their day, and all these plates did was glaze their king Krishna I for commissioning the construction of the temple, which would have dated it sometime around the 8th century AD. But the plates also contain inscriptions that boast the temple was so breathtaking that even the gods flying overhead stopped in their celestial chariots to admire it. Gods flying overhead? Celestial chariots? I wonder what they were referring to over here. And according to similar legends, this temple was built in just 1 week. But no, that part was just made up. Yet the actual dates on the copper plates, yeah, those were real. Can you see how this gets a little questionable? Which is why it's widely considered among the open-minded that this temple was built a lot longer ago using technology that surpasses ours today. Well, that's because the most impressive part is that this temple is made of basalt, hardened lava, which if you didn't know is hard as a motherfucker, ranking between a 6-7 on the Mohs scale of hardness, making it as hard as granite, just as unexplainable as what the ancient Egyptians quarried. They even ran an experiment using modern steel.
Oh yeah, Gaga.
Oh, she was there.
Gaga.
Queen Witch.
Yeah.
Queen Witch. They always crowbar her. She's like their main little puppet. Their little puppet.
The ritual mascot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she was doing a ritual at the Grammys.
They're like, look, you're doing the Grammys. Next week you're doing the Super Bowl. And at SummerSlam. It's just some wrestling shit.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
Like this shit is it's all planned. This is one big energy harvesting ritual.
For sure.
Because they gave the same package to Kendrick Lamar with winning the Grammys and then the Super Bowl. Bad Bunny wins the Grammys.
The ritualistic care package.
And then goes to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The ritualistic care package. That's crazy work.
Yeah, and then they crowbarred Lady Gaga in there.
Random. Lady Gaga gave the most watered down salsa I ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that didn't make sense. And now I was like, what is going on? And then they had Jessica Alba there. She was on the stage.
Random.
And then, of course, Cardi B was there. People were alluding that, she was going to do something, to the effect of some type of Super Bowl.
They were background actors.
Yeah, they were background actors.
How you get Cardi B and Jessica Alba to be extras?
You said it. People was up in arms. People mentioned Gnosticism, but you can't just say Gnosticism because it shows that when you asked me in the last Untamed, are there other gods? This is the whole key. It's other gods at play. Some of them want us to know that they're here. The others don't.
Right.
Simply because every time, what the Anunnaki said, they created us to mine gold for them, but we rebelled. And Enlil caused floods and all of this. Every time we rebel as humans, cataclysm come.
Right.
And they reset us.
They reset us.
We are taught that we are alone in the universe, But this footage might just prove us wrong. 3 men were exploring a rugged, remote landscape under the cover of darkness, navigating through a maze of massive boulders. The atmosphere is already tense, but things take a terrifying turn, and they notice something deeply unsettling hiding in the shadows. As they shine their flashlights into a narrow, pitch-black crevice between the rocks, the beam catches a glimpse of something that defies all explanation. Wedged deep in the gap is a pale, smooth-skinned figure with an elongated head, completely motionless. It doesn't look like any animal native to Earth. The moment the light hits it, the creature reacts, quickly ducking deeper into the impenetrable darkness of the fissure to hide. The camera violently shakes as the men realize what they are looking at, and the footage abruptly cuts. Is it a clever hoax, an undocumented animal, or actual proof of extraterrestrial life hiding right here on our planet? The video is grainy, but the sheer panic in the camera movement feels completely real.
A security camera captured something inside this woman's bedroom that no one has ever been able to explain. For weeks, she kept staring at the ceiling and reaching toward the same spot, insisting something was there. He checked above her bed over and over again, but every time, there was absolutely nothing. Then one night, while her nurse was standing beside the bed, her hair suddenly lifted straight upward, as if something invisible had pulled it from above. Everyone immediately looked up, but the ceiling was completely empty. Thinking whatever his mother had been seeing had to be above the bed, he started recording again. But this time, instead of the ceiling, a strange bulge slowly formed beneath the blanket, even though the bed had been perfectly flat only seconds earlier. Convinced the mattress had to be causing everything, he replaced it with a new one and cut the old mattress open. Inside, he found nothing that could explain what had been happening. The only surprise was discovering the new mattress he had originally purchased was actually a used mattress hidden inside a new cover. Believing he had finally found the answer, he threw the mattress away. But just 2 nights later, the same knocking sounds came back from his mother's room. The mattress was gone, yet the strange activity continued as if nothing had ever changed.
I want y'all to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. This is what I believe happened when life first formed on Earth. You see these beings right here? They once lived on Mars. Mars, as you know, billions of years ago was an Earth-like planet, had water, land, air, atmosphere, and everything. Some cataclysmic event had happened and forced them to have to migrate to the closest planet, which was Earth. Now at that time, Earth was not habitable for life, or if it was, life had not spawned there yet. These beings came from Mars to seed our planet. Now you see, the truth is, our history don't just start with Earth. All the way back to Mars and even further than that.
It turns out secret societies are real. We usually just don't hear about them for a reason. This is Billionaire Summer Camp, and it's where more than 300 big tech elites from Sam Altman to Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates meet yearly in rural Idaho to discuss their next moves. Farmers across the state of Idaho don't get an invite, and that's not an accident. This July, the meeting happened at a time when their companies are converting American farmland into AI data center campuses at a pace that has alarmed farmers, ecologists, and water regulators. This is because the same cheap power, open land, and abundant water that made Idaho a national agriculture powerhouse is now making it a prime target for big tech's infrastructure buildout. You could even see the cattle roaming as 174 private jets touched down, and that proximity is not a coincidence. Events like these are explicitly designed for informal deal making that produces formal transactions months later. What's especially concerning is they're joined by governors, senators, presidential candidates at a conference hosted by investment bankers who profit from facilitating these big tech deals. No one in the farming community receives an invitation to Sun Valley. It's only one side of the equation, the buying side. We need to understand what is happening right in front of our eyes. We are losing food growing land and the farmers that power this country. Consumers need to be the ones to drive change, and that's why we built the Localize app to connect you directly to these local farmers so they can survive rather than being taken over by
Tell Corey that. Tell Dad that. That's spooky. That's spooky, dude. Ice cream truck. That's spooky.
What I just dealt with trying to insure a vintage car is just more fuel to the fire and evidence for the obviousness, which is that they don't want you driving old vehicles. So listen to how this works. We got a vintage car, 1965. It's a Corvair. It's a great car. But if you want to get it insured, you cannot get it insured unless it's your second vehicle. because you can get what's called classic car insurance. It's like $25 a month, and on paper it's like a Sunday driver, so they don't care that it's, you know, low insurance prices. But you need to have a primary vehicle that is not older than 20 years in order to, at least with, like, this is the going rate. Like, I'm sure it varies a little bit between different insurance companies, but this is like about the blanket, how they do it. So if you want to drive this car, it cannot be your primary vehicle, because then everyone would get a vintage car and save so much in insurance every month, and it would be crazy. But then at the same time, every single year, cars reach 20 to 25 years old, which is considered a vintage or a classic, rather, car. I might be getting some words mixed up here, but it's basically that. So that means every single year that a car lasts past 20 to 25 years, all of a sudden, it's a classic car, and insurance rates could drop if it's your second vehicle. So you see why they wouldn't want you having old cars. Not only that, but of course, well, if they're really old, there could be some type of electromagnetic situation going on, and your car would be just fine, if you know what I'm talking about. And then we have, at the same time that junkyards are burning up, there's a fuel shortage, and so they're putting 15%, and in some places, Paraguay, I believe, passed a thing that they're doing like 35% ethanol. In India, they're talking about 30% ethanol because there's a shortage of fuel. It just so happens ethanol completely gimps old engines. So I'm not saying there's any sort of plan going on here, but I do wonder if there was a plan to get us out of these old cars and into the new ones, what would they be doing differently? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and follow for more.
Oh, we've got your ass. We've got your ass now. There's nothing new under the sun. Anything they're doing now has already been done. What you know about artificial humans and clones? At these world fairs, they would have incubators with premature babies on display. And people would come and pay just to look at these babies for entertainment. But you see, the thing is, that's what these elites like to do. They like to get you involved in their corruption and even charge you for it. People often ask me, after the last reset, where did they get all the people to repopulate the cities? And with the orphan trains, where did they get all the orphans from? And where was the parents? But that's just it. These children didn't have no parents. They was artificially created in these labs. And some was put on display at these fairs. Baby incubators for sale. Complete installations as operated by us. To hospitals and amusement parks. Like, it's one thing to have a baby incubator, but where are you getting all of these babies from? We make jokes about people being NPCs, bots, or soulless, but that's just the thing. Some things ain't a joke, because some things just ain't funny.
Some people believe the incubator buildings at America's World Fairs hid a much darker secret. For over 40 years, from Chicago to Coney Island, tiny premature babies were displayed as carnival sideshows. But why did these exhibits continue for decades? They say it wasn't about saving lives at all. These were secret baby hatcheries tied to experimental programs. The creepy 1800s French postcards of babies growing like crops in cabbage patches. What exactly were these postcards showing people? Were the fairs covering up government-backed repopulation schemes, or something even more sinister? That hidden agenda explains why the shows spanned so many years. Over 40 years, baby incubators were being used as a sideshow. Was this the ultimate cover-up? You decide.
My roommate and I's dogs were acting super alert and protective out of nowhere. I decided to check our new backyard camera we got a couple days ago, and I literally started crying. What could Lauren have seen on the tape that caused her to cry? Well, without further ado, let's take a look. As you can see, a strange figure can be seen pacing around back and forth in the backyard thanks to a security camera. Lauren then wrote, quote, "I don't know who or what that is, but it literally looks like it's pacing back and forth in front of our tree line. I posted the dogs acting upset. The second video is of the original outside camera, and the third video is of the same video just magnified. I want to throw away the backyard camera." End quote.
Jim Carrey is gone. He's gone, fool. Jim Carrey is gone. We are starting to see this more and more often when it comes to these Hollywood celebrities, where they're just not looking the same anymore. And no, I'm not talking about old age. I'm talking about the whole facial appearance gone, like changing. And most of them don't just be a little slight change. It'd be a major change, y'all. Look at Jim Carrey. This man looked totally different. Am I tripping? Let me know down below in the comments if I'm tripping. But I know this man looked totally different, fool. This whole little event, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing, was weird in general. Y'all know who this girl is, right? This is this girl right here, all grown up, 25 years later. This is also the girl. Just take a look at what's going on in the picture, fool. This right here should just let you know.
The Statue of Liberty, the face itself, is actually pretty identical to what Lucifer looked like in, like, what, a book back then? Or like, what was it? A painting of Lucifer in 1797.
It looks almost identical, damn. So do you think France made this statue in representation of Lucifer?
Bro, it's so crazy to think. Yeah, probably. And like, I just think like, people really like, there's people really out there that have like an obsession with like worshiping the devil. It's so scary.
There's a lot of people out there that worship murderers and serial killers too.
Yeah.
A lot of people like what was that the night stalker? What was his name?
Ramirez.
Richard Ramirez, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer. They all had fan clubs.
Y'all, this video crazy as fuck. This man think he witnessed the alien this day. Now, I don't know if it's an alien, but all I know is that joint ain't human, fool. The way the shorty was walking was like a robot or some demonic possession type shit. This man beeped the horn, beep beep. Then she turned around all slow and just looked lethargic, fool. And then I don't know what he was saying in the video because he was talking Spanish. So I need somebody to translate what the hell he was saying. Y'all let me know what y'all think this shorty is down below in the comments. You think she a head? You think she a alien like he said? Or something else? Leave it down below in the comments. Watch how she turn around.
Va para adentro. Mírala. Dale, pitale, pitale, pitale. Pitale, pitale, pitale. Mírate.
What the fuck is that?
Hello?
I now have undeniable proof that there is much more to the Lindsey Graham situation than what we are being told, and no one else has this photo that just got sent to me. And it's much more than just the photo. I told you yesterday I didn't want to be that guy, but there's just so many things that don't add up with this official narrative of this illness, this, what, was it a heart problem they said? So I'll show you the picture in just 1 minute. But first, today, as of a few hours ago, they have 20 different FBI agents all outside of Lindsey Graham's house doing an investigation. Not just today, but also yesterday. So if it was just a health complication, what's up with the FBI? When does the FBI ever, especially, investigate that deeply into a health issue, right? That does not make sense at all. They're looking because there's more to the story. Now, yesterday I mentioned how I found it extremely odd his birthday to his end date was like this certain number, then 11, like September 2011. You get it. Of course, that also being the bottomless pit, Deception, Apollyon, Apollo, Abaddon, the new archway being built in DC. And now Iran, shut up, made another video today showing Laura Loomer being the next target, the same person who cries wolf that there is some impending attack and doom for the United States from, you know, that one country we just mentioned. I'm not going to play the video because I don't want to label this video AI. But have you seen what's happening in Iran right now? The US is bombing the literal crap out of them right this minute, while of course this is all going on. Now back to the video. Is Iran really making these videos? Would they really try to take responsibility for the Lindsey Graham situation and then go into something much further than that? Completely unrelated, not relevant at all, just a fiction story. It sounds like a really good stage. Now, I'm not saying he did not pass away or he's still here. Who freaking knows? There's no way to prove really anything. You know, a lot of people pass away. There's people out there who say that people never pass away, and I think that's ridiculous. But check out this picture that guy sent to me. Here's Lindsey Graham a few days ago flying on coach. First off, people like this very high up in the Senate, they obviously would be, you know, flying private or first class and being safe. But also notice the look on his face. But wait, there is more, much more. And shout out to GF Life, the guy who sent me this picture from his friend of him being on the plane. Get this part. So he randomly passes away after just talking to people in good health, completely fine, right? Well, you know, like one of his last ever statements he ever said was, "Before I die, I have to put sanctions on Russia." Who would randomly say that, y'all? So what do I think? I think that this story is gonna be subliminal, like on the back burner, like people are talking about it, but the news won't cover it. Then all of a sudden it's gonna come out that some country did something, and therefore now there's a giant conflict like the first one and the second one in the 1900s. And just wait till my secret project drops. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. Oh, by the way, let me know what you think.
Y'all, what in the hell is this? I said hell because it looked like something from hell. Look closely, y'all. It looked like bodies on it, right? This don't look like something straight out of Stranger Things. And this is in California, y'all. California, in the desert. This looked like the gateway to hell. I think they say this is in Joshua Tree in California. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this is a place I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to be nowhere near this junk right here. I rebuke. Now, people that's around that area said they don't know when or how that got there. So my question is, do anybody know when and how that got there? And if an artist took his time to make this and build it over here and install it, you're weird.
We got another new video of two suns in the sky or a sun in another planet. What do you think this could be, Booskies? Shabadoo?
The number one fear of human beings is supposedly public speaking, right? But that's not it. It's the judgment that might come from public speaking. It's not the being on stage. Right. It's like, is somebody going to judge me? Am I going to get ostracized? So the way that they control a lot of this and gaslight people is to use the fear of social punishment and social enforcement. And if I can get one celebrity to go out there and call these people a name and just give them a name as if it's a group of people, you know, like conspiracy theorist, dragon believer, that kind of thing. We give it a name, and that makes it easier for other people to socially enforce. And it comes from an authority figure. So you get the tribe involved, and all you got to do is up a few people. Yep. Like Robert Malone. And they're like, hey, I can take this guy down. Yeah. What do you think I'm going to do to you? Yeah. And you just get that fear out there. And that's all you need to do.
Federal investigators are zeroing in on the possible cause of cyclospora. You know, that parasite that's causing explosive diarrhea all across the United States? And currently, as we discuss it, there are currently 31 states with nearly 7,000 potential cases of cyclospora. And as of right now, federal investigators have Taco Bell under investigation for the explosive diarrhea parasite outbreak. And if you recall, Taco Bell pulled a lot of items off of their menu recently. And here are just a few of the foods that we were warned to possibly stay away from. Lettuce, guacamole, cilantro. And also to keep in mind, while Taco Bell is being investigated, you're also being warned not to eat salads, broccoli, or possibly even spinach, and especially stay away from the bagged mixed salads. And berries are also on the list to avoid right now. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and also basil and cilantro are also on the list of do not eat right now. And once again, if you look at it, those exact ingredients are what Taco Bell puts on most of their food items. And don't forget, as I mentioned in previous videos, they are also claiming that you need to eat well-done meat. Make sure your meat is cooked fully. And also eggs, make sure they're not runny. Make sure they're also cooked fully. This cyclospora parasite is no joke, as I've said many times. Lots of people have been hospitalized with this parasite. And what those that have had it and had to be hospitalized have experienced, they claim it was like hell, living on a toilet. So keep this in mind if you do plan on eating out. Check what's on the menu and check all of the ingredients that are included. Keep yourself safe this summer and don't end up like a lot of other people have. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
You know, when someone says that we shouldn't investigate something, my first thought is maybe we should investigate that even more. Graham had just came back from Ukraine. He has a pretty substantial stance when it comes to Russia and Iran and what's going on over in the Middle East. And pretty much any time something pops off in another country, he's the first to sign off on more weapons. So I'm not saying a foreign actor can be involved in something. He could have just been old and had, health conditions or something. A 71-year-old man with health issues. But when the President of the United States says, I know that there's all sorts of conspiracy theories going along, and I don't think that the FBI, I think the FBI is wasting their time if they're doing that. I'm not just saying the president. I'm saying anyone in major power or major influence when it comes to money or business or whatever. If they came out and said that an organization like the FBI, whose job is investigation, should stop investigating because it's a waste of time, you should probably investigate even more. It makes you think, because there's other things that he says is a hoax that we all know isn't a hoax that he also said to stop investigating. And funny thing is, when he told the FBI to stop investigating that, it sure seems like they stopped investigating it.
A lot of people think the wrong things about Earth. It ain't no fucking school. You're not here to learn. You trapped. You trapped in prison, right? And the way out is in. The biggest trick that they ever did was took something that was in you, hid it from you, and the whole time it's still in you. That's the biggest trick that ever been done. That's why Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is within. People looking for the way out. That's why they lining up to the church and they giving them all the money because they looking for the way out, the outward way, but the way out is in. That's why everybody's still stuck here. I'm not saying nothing wrong with religion. I'm not saying nothing wrong with God. I'm saying something is wrong with the pastor. Something is wrong with the imam in the mosque.
Should we even go to church?
Listen, when Jesus with the church kicked over the table, every time they went to church, they was outside in the grass, in the ground, in the wilderness, in nature. Everybody gonna sleep on the floor to be grounded with the earth, but they gave everybody beds and fucked you up, and now your body don't even sleep right. That's why everybody had these joint pains and muscle pains, their body fucked up because you sleep in the bed.
I have walked in a few churches and I'm like, why the hell does church look so nice? Why is why the stained glass so nice?
You know what I'm saying? Since the beginning of the time, the Christians been a fiend for money. They've been trying to look good, wearing purple garments and everything. That's why Jesus said, you got that purple garment on, that don't make you shit. Clean the inside of your cup before you clean it out. The pastor been like that. That like it's just right now. These motherfuckers been getting money, loving diamonds and gold. That's why they went over and stole all that shit from Egypt. These motherfuckers went over and stole shit and took it back like it's theirs. Anything that shined, they had to have. Y'all playing with me? Everything stolen. It all happened from the Christians. People don't understand this. They go and pray to somebody that conquered the world and force the religion on everybody. Come on, gang, stop playing with me.
Listen closely, because what's happening right now is deeper than what people think. The United States didn't just wake up one morning and decide, hey, I'm gonna threaten Venezuela. He announced land strikes, shutting down the airspace. And the way he's speaking with that level of certainty, that shit is not normal language, y'all. That's calculated and that's strategic. That's meant to send a message far beyond one country. So publicly, the explanation for this.
Guys, beaches all across the US just got shut down over Labor Day weekend because the water literally tested positive for something that you don't want to know. They just found unsafe levels of fecal bacteria in the water. Yes, that means exactly what you think it means, and it just showed up in water tests all across the country. So imagine just for a second that you're one of the people getting ready for the last big weekend of the summer, and then officials are like, yeah, don't touch the water. The ocean basically just failed its annual health inspection. infection. They're saying that Cape Cod, Long Island, California, Florida, and even Hawaii all just had their beaches flagged. Like, you can't escape this. This is coast to coast. These scientists have found that 61% of the beaches that were tested had at least one day with dangerous levels. That's more than half the beaches in the country. If you're wondering how this happened in the first place, they're saying that the heavy rain washed nasty stuff into the water, and then the sewer systems leaked, and then straight up sewage overflowed into the ocean. The risk of swimming in this right now are no joke. There's a warning that you can get infections, stomach bugs, rashes, basically all of the souvenirs that you don't want to get on your trip. And then officials are giving out another warning saying,
the temple on Epstein Island was initially supposed to look a little different than it ended up looking. This is a file that I came across while looking into the Epstein files, and I believe this is an artist's mock-up of what Epstein wanted the temple to look like, and it's definitely different than how it ended up. So taking a bit of a closer look, the colors are much more vivid here. You can see the patterning out front is much more red and distinct. And obviously the biggest distinction here that I don't think ever really made it to the island are the statues. And it's really creepy to me to see these things placed out front of the temple. And just taking a look at all this stuff, it's known that Epstein was really into Greek mythology. There are Greek mythological figures all over Epstein's properties that I've noticed and talked about in previous videos. But just looking at these right here, I think I can tell you conclusively who at least two of these figures represent. For example, I believe this is representing the Greek god Pan. Interestingly, Pan is where we get the word panic, because in Greek mythology, Pan was said to be able to emit a really loud scream that could cause immediate fear in people who heard it. And Pan is a Greek god that's frequently associated with sex and fertility, amongst other things like nature, but this tracks for Epstein. You can actually see other figures of Pan throughout Epstein's properties. But this figure over here is a little bit more interesting to me in a way, because it appears to be depicting Poseidon, the god of the sea. There are a number of other Poseidon kind of statues and pieces of art found throughout Epstein's properties as well. The horse hooves kind of threw me off a little bit, but I mean, my best guess is that this is Poseidon, which is very interesting because if you take a look at the aerial view of Epstein's Zorro Ranch in New Mexico, you see this really weird shape and this design that was present on the property. This thing was actually just removed about a month or two ago. But this is no ordinary landscaping feature. A lot of people actually believe that that is a map of Atlantis, based on an old description of Atlantis, a depiction of Atlantis by Greek philosopher Plato. I mean, the similarities are definitely there. And it's actually a very interesting deep dive. Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, his partner in crime, they were obsessed with exploring the ocean. Ghislaine had a submarine license. A lot of people have theorized that they may have had some wacky out there theories that they could potentially find Atlantis. I'm not making that up. That's not like fear mongering or anything. That is a known line of discourse within the Epstein story. So to see this, which definitely resembles the map of Atlantis on Epstein's property, paired with this depiction of Poseidon, I mean, I think it's very intriguing. But I couldn't figure out what these statues on top of the Epstein temple were supposed to be. Maybe these were supposed to be owls, wink wink, I don't really know. But if you guys have any ideas or answers, please let me know. Now recently I talked in a video about how Epstein described this place as a mosque. Although that's what Epstein was quoted as having said about this place, I don't believe that this was a mosque. I think that there was definitely a more nefarious use for this building, and obviously these Greek god statues don't track with a building's usage as—
She was being stalked by the rake. Annie was home alone when she got a motion alert from her doorbell camera, thinking it was her ex. Creeped out, she called someone for help.
Don't understand who would do this to me.
But as she checks again, it's still there.
Warning, creatures with dark, shiny faces that look human have been caught hiding inside people's homes pretending to be their dog, and footage just caught it smiling. People were terrified after millions started warning that a creature who was adopted by this woman in Japan was watching her, following her movements, and smiled when she looked at it, with an eerie recording seemingly showing it speaking to her, saying that she would not be around much longer. And the woman who has posted these videos has not posted or has not been seen since. Haunting reports show that after she disappeared, new accounts began reposting her old videos under her name, with many warning that whatever is behind the accounts is choosing to show itself, reposting only the videos where its face is clearest, its smile is widest, as if it was never trying to hide, it was always trying to be seen. But it gets much darker as Japanese folklore warns of the same creature, something that walks on all fours, wears the face of an animal, watches you, and when it smiles at you, it's ready to strike. And what she brought home from Japan seemingly matches the ancient text perfectly. However, experts say it's just a Cocker Spaniel mixed film in bad lighting, but that doesn't explain why there's no new videos of her
This video shows the moment 19-year-old Ghasimran Kaur's mother finds her cooked to death inside of a Walmart oven.
What?
So Ghasimran was a 19-year-old from Nova Scotia, Canada. She had only actually lived there for about 3 years, though. Her and her mom had immigrated in search of a better life, right?
Yeah.
They both had worked at this Walmart together, and they were working the same shift. So on October 19th, 2024, Ghasimran had started her shift just like any other day. So about an hour into her shift, her mom couldn't find her anywhere. So her mom starts freaking out a little bit. She goes and talks to management and says like, hey, have you guys seen Ghasimran? I can't find her anywhere. And they're like, no, you know, the store's huge. She could be anywhere helping customers. So she calls her a bunch of times. But one thing that is a little weird, and I don't really have an explanation for it, is her phone didn't even ring like at all. It was as if someone had turned her phone off. Okay? Her mom starts freaking out, and she describes having this feeling of like overwhelming dread.
Oh.
She goes over to the baking section, and what she describes is honestly terrifying. Like, it gives me the chills. She said that on the floor, oozing out of one of these tall baking ovens in the bakery section,
no,
she saw a black, thick, like tar, almost oil-like substance coming out of one of these ovens all over the floor.
No way.
She said when she saw that, she immediately, for some reason, she just knew something was wrong. So she opens up the door, and on the floor, she finds her 19-year-old daughter literally charred, cooked completely. Witnesses describe seeing her like laying on the floor screaming with her daughter. Cops are called and they come out. The fire department comes out, and they said by the time they got there, she had already been removed from the oven. And this oven gets up to 500 degrees. This is terrifying.
Makes no sense.
They said that it was a freak accident. They believe the door closed on its own and she got stuck in there.
How?
It really makes no sense because Walmart employees all over the world started posting videos on TikTok showing how
it's impossible for that to happen.
Yeah, the door doesn't shut by itself. The only way it can shut is by being pushed really hard on the outside until you hear a click. But even if that were the case, you then have an emergency button inside of the oven that you push and the door opens. On top of that, somebody has to then turn the oven on, set the temperature in order for it to cook. It doesn't just do this by itself. Somehow all of this is ignored. The mom said that the cops have completely ignored her, and a lot of people on the internet are speculating because it's a brown girl, nobody seems to care. But the worst part is that her mother has said that the cops even went to her and said, your daughter may have taken her own life. They went to the mother and accused her doing it to...
Okay, so Neo from the movie Matrix in 1999 had a passport that was set to expire September 11th, 2001. Not weird at all.
I see this bird just fly up next to me. It got a whole chip on its back. I don't know if y'all was just able to see it, but hold on. I'm about to make sure I zoom in and get a little better view. Y'all see it better right here? And then that thing tried to keep flying away every time I pointed the camera at it. Now you see I'm looking at you.
I'm not sure what's going on out here, but that person just said that it looks like this seagull has a chip on its back. I don't believe that, no matter how it looks. People are saying that that's a mini solar panel, so it could charge. Shut up! I don't believe that because birds are real, right? Why are those seagulls ice grilling? Why are they ice grilling like this, guys? Like they're watching him. Something is going on, bro. People been saying for a long time that birds are not real, but they are real, bro. What are you talking about? They're real. They're in the sky. They're one of us. We feed them, right? Something's going on out here, guys, and I don't know because I have not seen one like this. That does look like a chip. Now, somebody said it was a mini solar panel so it could charge with the sun, but I don't believe that because every time I'm outside and I see these seagulls, they eating food. These are real, all right? Fake things do not eat food. Now, just playing about, guys, entertainment purposes only. Maybe this video is not even real, right? Maybe it's AI. I don't know what's going on out here. Let me know what you think.
goes, "Can you please close the door? I'm really lazy right now. Like, I don't want to close my door."
A woman who shouldn't be able to standing motionless in the dark, watching the person paid to look after her for hours without making a sound. One of the more unsettling, mysterious videos to surface this year. He'd been waking to odd sounds and the persistent feeling of being watched. So he set up a camera to record the room while he slept. At some point during the night, the woman shifts into view. She's standing, not in a wheelchair, not propped up in bed, upright in the middle of the room, watching him sleep. According to the carer, she stood there for hours. He had no idea until he checked the footage the next morning.
Have you ever been in a room and you just don't feel alone? You feel like something's over, you're going like this, but for some unexplainable reason, a lot of people don't chalk that up to a paranormal experience. That is a paranormal experience. I will say, if you don't feel alone in the room, chances are you're not alone in the room.
That's crazy. Because, like, you can feel like that and your brain be psyching you out, or it could really be something.
Exactly. A story that's pretty common being a tour guide is a very haunted room in Austin at a hotel called the Driscoll. One suite, a lot of people will say, I woke up at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning with a sudden urge to leave the room. Nothing particularly happened. I was just uncomfortable. I just wanted to leave. That is a paranormal experience. That's something telling you to get out of their space.
If it's enough people it's happening to.
Exactly.
It's hard to argue that.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of a universal experience with some people. With most people, they've all had that urge. Whether it's at a hotel in whatever country, whatever state, somebody has had that experience. I just don't feel comfortable. I got the urge.
Is there evidence that intelligence agencies of any country have ever successfully carried out assassinations using crazy or suggestible people who don't know they're participating in it? Which is to say, like, lone gunman shoots public figure. Lone gunman is actually a tool of some other organization, doesn't know he's a tool of the organization. He committed the murder, but he did so, maybe unbeknownst to him, at the urging of some other group. Sirhan, for example. Do we know that's actually happened ever?
I think it's very obvious that it has happened. There is such a thing as false flag recruitment, which is where people are recruited into thinking that they're working for this group, but they're actually working for this other group. Right?
That's correct.
If you study assassinations and how they're conducted, they do tend to use people that are very significant.
Well, it appears our theme is continuing, and that is of people acting out of the ordinary, things happening to them that they can't explain. The following footage comes actually from a couple and their friends. They were celebrating his girlfriend's birthday when she started acting completely abnormal and weird, and this scary looking smile like just came over her. They're calling it a possession, and the kicker is she doesn't remember any of this. And the footage was captured in Brazil. Take a look at this. Comment below. Let us know what you think.
Nessa data... Peraí, gente, peraí. O que foi, amor, que você tá assim?
Que isso?
Meu Deus. Será que você tá bem?
Tá tudo
amor,
bem.
O que é isso? Tá me assustando com esse sorriso aí.
Ela tá muito estranha.
Amor.
Por que ela tá sorrindo?
Amor, tô falando sério. Você já viu ela assim?
Não.
Gente, eu vou gravar. Meu, tá estranho isso daí.
Não tá certo.
Eu vou gravar. Amor, a vela apagou, gente. Que viagem. Mas essas velas fazem isso. Amor, muda esse rostinho, vai ficar feliz.
A vela acendeu.
Ô, louco, mas apaga a velinha, amor, vai. Depois a gente canta de novo. Você tá assustando a gente, amor. Você tá bem?
Eu tô com medo.
Meu, a gente vai ter que chamar um médico. Oh, não, não, não.
Meu Deus.
Não, amor. Poxa, o que é isso, gente? Meu Deus, para.
Eu só queria o bolo.
Ajuda, gente. Gente, a gente vai ter que chamar socorro. Não sei o que ela tá tendo. Ela tá com algum problema.
Ela tá maluca.
Isso é normal? Meu Deus, gente. Amor, amor. Não fica assim, não. Você tá... Por que você tá fazendo isso? Tá trolando a gente, né?
Assim.
É pegadinha, é pegadinha. Cadê? Gente, chama uma ambulância. Vamos chamar uma ambulância.
Que maluco.
This lady's husband got kidnapped by this gang, and instead of her calling the police, she goes and kidnaps the gang leader's mom.
Really?
Mike, I swear to you, bro.
That's wild.
Dude. So this happened in 2016 in Guerrero, Mexico, and it was this girl named Yadira Garcia. Her and her husband were just living life like any other day, and her husband went to like this area to go do something. I think because he was a mechanic. I think he was going to do his job. Basically where they live, there's a lot of these kidnappings that happen. A lot of it is through this gang
where they'll like kidnap people and use them for like ransom or trafficking. Her husband so happened to be one of the guys that got snatched up one day. She's wondering where the hell he was at. This lady has something inside of her of like, I am sick and tired of these people messing with us. She rallies up a bunch of people and basically gets a team together. It's her and a bunch of basically civilians and like vigilantes. They even get guns.
Wow.
So this lady leads a militia pretty much. They find out who the guy is and they connect who his mother is, go to her place, storm in there, kidnap his mom and a bunch of other like victims pretty much.
Wow.
They get all these people. She gets a camera and she goes, we got your mom right here. I want to do a swap. Nobody's gonna get hurt. I want you to bring my husband back for your mom and don't touch a hair on his head. The gang leader's like, all right, bro, I don't want nothing to happen to my mama. We can make this trade. So they eventually go to wherever the hell this place was at. They do the trade where they get the husband. They gave the mom to the police to return her back home. And that's how they did the swap. Dude, to tell you the truth, nobody ended up getting hurt. And long story short, the girl saved her husband and bro's back home.
Damn.
To my knowledge, I don't know if all of the guys got arrested, but I know that some of those guys ended up getting arrested over the years, but I don't think they ended up getting the leader still.
That's insane.
I found a very interesting theory. Okay? Think about this. What are the Ninja Turtles?
Turtles?
Okay. Reptilians.
Okay. I'm following.
Now, where do they live?
In the sewer.
Underground. What do they eat?
Pizza.
They eat pizza. So you have reptilians underground eating pizza. Now, what do we always talk about? We always talk about reptilians. We always talk about people living underground and pizza being the code word for PDF files. So the question is, was Shredder a good guy?
Hold on.
We need the smoke for that one.
We got a UFO flying over Colombia during the day. Let me show you some images or pictures of these strange shenanigans. Look in the center, kind of towards the top. I circled it because on this one you really can't see. By the way, the thing above it is an airplane. In the circle, do you notice that? Do you see it? That's not an airplane. That's something else entirely. So let's look a little closer. Can you see it or do I need to circle it again for you? I'm nice that way. So look, that's not a plane. That's not a helicopter. And since it's flying, it's an unidentified flying object, otherwise known as a UFO. Let's take a closer look. Yeah, it's got kind of a weird shape to it. Maybe it's a drone, maybe it's not. Maybe it's from another world, maybe it's not. Maybe it's man-made. You never know. Since even when they release these pictures or videos, they don't give us any explanation. But since this happened during the day, over the country Colombia, and people took videos and pictures, it's worth looking into. Till next time, Shabba-da-booshkis.
This is why I think that they keep basketball players, football players, all the people who are like, tall. These people are supposed to be like the protectors of Earth, but they keep them preoccupied with contracts, basketball contracts, play this sport, play that sport. They created sports to keep the defenders
so they don't take over. Because that'd be some spooky shit.
Right. So they're from those, I guess fallen angels, you want to call them, the giants and whatnot.
Right.
That, mixed with, human DNA. So if you think about it, why do you think that we have the NBA, the NFL, all these sports to keep these people preoccupied?
Keep them drifting.
Big bastards.
Keep them drifting. They need everybody in a drifting like state, right? Because when you're drifting like state, then you don't remember. So everything he said is factual because it makes sense. They don't want you to pay attention to yourself. They want you to pay attention to everything else. That's smart as shit. That's how you break it down differently.
This is why, if you think about it, the NFL looks like what? The NFL stadium looks like what? A Coliseum. So back in Roman times, they had the
Here we go. 7:13. You
I delivered.
What is going on here, you all? This is wild. This is wild. You all seen this for yourselves. You all seen what James Franco provided evidence of this alien, allegedly, right? But what is really going on here? James Franco is an actor, right? So who really knows? This could be a promotion for a new movie he is doing. I really don't know what is going on, but you have to admit this is very bizarre. What do you all think about this? Comment down below and you let.
Did you see the story of the two teenage girls who were planning on killing a classmate, and they said they wanted to use his body after as a ritual to bring back the Sandy Hook shooter?
Really?
This is real, bro. Yes, these little girls are absolutely insane. You didn't hear about this?
No.
Bro, this 15-year-old girl named Isabel Valdez and this 14-year-old girl named Lois Lippert. Both of these little girls were in class like any other day, and this girl, Isabel, started talking to Lois, and pretty much she cooked up this idea that they were going to end the life of another classmate and use his body for a ritual. She said that she picked him because he resembled the Sandy Hook shooter.
Really?
Yeah. What they were going to do is they were going to lure this kid into the bathroom, slit his throat, and then drink the blood.
Wow.
The little girl, Isabel, can't keep her mouth shut. She tells another kid that was like some other little boy in their class. He goes and tells a teacher. So the police come and get them from their school. There's footage of them in the back seat of the police car. Bro, the footage is disgusting.
Are we going to be in the same one?
What do you mean, same one?
Same jail?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah! Dude, I was gonna do my makeup this morning for the mugshot, but I couldn't find anything. I'm glad I don't actually look too bad today. I look horrible.
They find out that their plan was, like I said, to resurrect the Sandy Hook shooter to come to their school and commit a school shooting at theirs.
Really? That's what they wanted?
That was their plan.
Oh my God.
The police are basically digging into these little girls' lives. Like, they're looking into their homes. They confiscated their devices, things like that. Bro, they go through the little girls' phones. This little girl, Isabel, they found hella CP material.
Really?
On her phone at 15 years old, Mike.
Wow. That's crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, y'all. We all need to pay attention to this because the NOAA, they just put out an El Nino watch for the summer. They are saying this summer, the planet is finna heat up like it has never did before. They said it's a strong chance that the El Nino can develop this summer, and it's gonna last throughout the whole year. So they saying the El Nino.
713. You wanted it? Here it is. I delivered.
What is that, bro? Who is that? It looks like a costume from Party City. What is going on here, James? Who's that? Are we serious now? Are we serious? This is the encounter that you had, bro? You can't be serious, bro. This is what we waited for, James? Somebody wearing an alien mask? Peeking through the window? Come on, bro. You can't be serious, James. What is this, bro? James. You had us waiting this whole time to show us an alien video for the 1950s, bro. Shut up! Come on, James. This is what we've been waiting for? I don't even know what was going on in this video. I'm not sure if James is playing around at this point because he is an actor. Maybe this is just all jokes. Maybe he's just trying to get our attention because he's been out the spotlight for a long time, but something is going on with James Franco, but I just don't know what it is. But what I do know is that somebody's here is running around with an alien suit, with an alien mask, and he's claiming that's a real alien, allegedly. Who's to know if that's true or not? That does not look real. Why is it in black and white? We are in 2026 with 4K cameras, bro. Really, James? And then you got your arms out like, you see, I told you. What did you tell us? And what did you show us, bro? I seen an alien suit. My man said he seen that same alien suit at Party City for sale, bro. Stop playing around with us, James. Not just playing around, guys. Entertainment purposes only. Obviously, I'm just playing around. Clearly, this might be real. It might be fake. I don't know. James Franco, this is a great video, bro. I don't know why it's in black and white. We in the 4K era, but it's a great video. Is that video real or fake? I'm not sure. Let me know what you think.
People might not exist. So there's a viral video going around right now where a lady is talking about China population that everybody think they have, that's in the billions, is a lie. She said the real number is not 1.4 billion. She says closer to 400 to 500 million. And if you ask me, that shit is wild. Look at this shit. 1 billion people missing is a crazy statement. Some people even was talking about them having ghost cities.
We've obtained video evidence, including the MQ-9 footage of a UAP incident off the coast of Yemen, delivered to my office through what can only be described as a Tom Clancy-style dead drop. Someone felt that they had, now think about this, someone felt they had to secretly hand information to an elected official, a member of Congress. Why would anyone fear bringing information to Congress? They shouldn't. We are no longer asking hypothetical questions anymore. Congress is requesting specific records and videos. These agencies and contractors know that we know that they exist, and we're going to get them released.
Смотрите, как он замерзает прямо сейчас.
I don't think Michael Jordan is a real person. The way he's been flying around the court doing all these things with his hand, nobody could seem to block him for some reason. I've been playing basketball my whole life and I can never play like Mike. You know what it is. They saying that he's the best ever, but what if he's not one of us? People has been saying this for so long, guys. Look at him move. I don't know how he does it. Look, he's in the air. It's like he's gliding, like he's flying. I don't know how this is possible, guys, but Michael Jordan does it. He did it. He's the greatest of all time. Why do you think? Because he's not one of us. He dunks on people. Look at that. How is he doing this? I know you know. Look at this. No one can stop him. MJ is in the building. Man, I can't play like this no matter what I do. No matter how many practices I do, it just doesn't add up to Michael. How does he do it? Look how far he's coming from. He looks like he's flying right here, guys. How can Michael Jordan do this? Let me guess. Practice makes perfect, right? Come on, guys, give me a break. You know what time is it. Remember that movie Space Jam? Why you think he was playing against aliens? Think about it. Because something's going on with Michael Jordan, guys, and we don't know how did he get this good. Nobody has been able to play like this guy since he stepped foot on the court. Jump shots for days. It doesn't matter who's in front of him. It's like this guy never got blocked. And you know the referees was on his side. Scripted. The best player of all time. How? And then his sneakers came out. It was a hit. Everybody wears Jordans. Even the jersey he got on. Come on, this guy is the greatest. But how? You know how. By being untouchable. By being able to fly across players in the sky. Everybody knew. But we didn't know. That's why we're asking the questions, allegedly. This is what people are saying, and I don't believe it. No one is better than Michael Jordan. It is what it is. And yes, of course, Michael Jordan followed the script. I don't know what's up with Jordan. Let me know if you know what's up with Jordan. Something's up. I'm out.